Thank you for tuning in and welcome back to the Sandwich of Coherency. So, let's just go ahead and jump right into this and catch up on a part 2 of a past American week of disarray. Things have gotten absolutely insane, as I continue to say. Again, we have Debbie Wasserman Schultz. If you're familiar with her, you know why this is a problem. The fact that she is still in Congress and somehow has a voice in the halls of Congress. For those of you that don't know, she conspired with Hillary Clinton to rig the DNC against Bernie Sanders so that Hillary Clinton could get the nomination. This is not speculation. It was found to have been done by the courts. She was forced to step down from her position at the DNC. But the problem is that the courts ruled that the DNC had actually didn't do anything illegal by rigging the nomination against Bernie Sanders for Hillary Clinton. And, you know, this is from the 2016 election, and I think it's odd, everybody talks about, voter fraud and things like that, and people conspiring to do illegal things during elections. And, throughout the whole nonsense that happened with 2016, everyone, Democrats saying that Trump colluded with Russia and all this other nonsense, they completely left out the part that they actively colluded to make sure that Hillary Clinton got the nomination. They actively committed fraud, though it was found to be within their right. Nonetheless, they were willing to go to that step to win the nomination. This is why many of us don't have a problem with actually entertaining the idea that many of the Democrats in office would conspire to do illegal things to win an election. That is not saying that the last election was rigged or anything like that. Is just pointing out that there are corrupt politicians, and corrupt politicians do corrupt things. Because when you get in office and you start making backroom deals and you have tons of money rolling into your pocket, you want to stay in that position and you want to keep it. That's a problem for the citizens, because as they get paid, you get played. Because what many of these people that pay them want might not be what's good for the citizens. But still, we should be very worried that somehow she is still allowed to hold any kind of public office. And on top of other things happening with this crazy time, we've got baby formula flying in from Germany. The first batches seem to have made their way to Indiana, where they have first shipments. And apparently, we're reading from the Epic Times, the first shipment of baby formula arrives in the U.S. from Germany. A U.S. military plane arrived in Indianapolis, Indiana, early Sunday morning, carrying 35 tons of baby formula amid a nationwide shortage. Agriculture Secretary Tom Vilsack, who was there Sunday morning to welcome the shipment, said the shipment would provide a formula for about 9,000 babies and 18,000 toddlers for 1 week. These are the things that, again, we find crazy, because we know that the White House administration is scooping up baby formula from around the nation and from manufacturers and sending it to the border. This is absolutely insane. And this is what we keep talking about. They're making it so that you have to suffer. You are not the priority. The whole logic is that you're American, so figure it out. These people, yes, granted, what they did was illegal. Granted, they shouldn't be there at the moment, but you're American. We're going to take yours and give it to them. Why? Because they need it. And if you have a problem with that, that's very immoral and unkind and inhumane of you. Because, look, we're working really hard to find other countries to ship us stuff to give to you. I know we have stuff right here that you should have access to, but fuck you. I mean, that's really what it pans itself down to. Understand that as the Biden administration is sending formula amidst a shortage to the border, they're having to beg other countries to give the United States baby formula because the citizens are running out. And the crazy thing is, places like Mexico are not having a baby food shortage, a baby formula shortage. So how insane is it to think about the fact that, oh my gosh, had you gone with and kept the Remain in Mexico policy, those people that you were taking formula from the Americans for to give to wouldn't be actually having to have that. You wouldn't be having to do that. Now, granted, it's not to say that the amount that whatever they're taking and sending to the border would probably be substantial enough to fill all American shelves around the nation. It's not to say that, but the optics on this are very bad. And when you're rolling up to a midterm election, it's not looking good for the Democrats. It's not looking good at all because you have hungry citizens. And when you have hungry citizens that are hungry because of your policies, well, that's when they tend to get angry and that's when you tend to leave office. You cannot starve your citizens. The whole idea that you think that you can starve them and then dangle a carrot at them and they'll just agree with everything you want might not be the case. The other option is that you might do that to your citizens and in return they might, well, they could get aggressive. I'm not saying they should, and I'm not hoping they will. I hope that things can be done peacefully and we can make a change this November. But hungry people do drastic things in drastic times. And that's one thing that we must not lose sight of. So please, 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 it'd be very nice if the White House would get their priorities straight and feed their citizens. Again, if you have enough money and food and fuel to ship it to other nations, then your own citizens should not be suffering. And if they are suffering, then you don't have enough to share with anybody. You must take care of your home first. I keep saying that, but you have to take care of your home first. It does no good for America to destroy itself to be virtuous. Oh yeah, the nation fell apart. But hey, we gave all our shit to other people. Would you be in this position had you not given your shit to other people? Yeah, we'd be in a much better position. But think of what we did. Yeah, but now you're broke, poor, arsed out in the street. You look like a fool. And the crazy thing about it is that every nation that the United States is breaking their back to send stuff, and as the American nation falls apart, those very countries have no problems with holding their own shit for themselves because they do. They do. And that brings me to, this other article from the Epic Times, and this is good news to know, bad news to exist. An analyst warns the world has just 10 weeks of wheat supplies left in storage. A food insecurity expert said the world has only about 10 weeks of wheat supplies left in storage amid the conflict in Ukraine, and as India has moved to bar exports of wheat in recent weeks, i.e. what I just previously said. Sarah Minker, the CEO of agriculture analytics firm Grow Intelligence, told the United Nations Security Council that the Russia-Ukraine war simply added fuel to a fire that was long burning, saying that it is not the primary cause of the wheat shortage. Ukraine and Russia both produce close to about a third of the world's wheat. Quote, I want to start by explicitly saying that the Russia-Ukraine war did not start the food security crisis. It simply added fuel to a fire that was long burning, a crisis we detected tremors from long before the COVID-19 pandemic exposed the fragility of our supply chains. I share this because we believe it's important for you all to understand that even if the war were to end tomorrow, our food security problem isn't going away anytime soon without concerted action. Now, it continues in providing data. Minker said that due to price increases in major crops this year, it's made another 400 million worldwide food insecure. 400 million more. Adding that with wheat, the world currently only has 10 weeks of global consumption sitting in inventory around the world. These are problems, and as I explained and I keep explaining to people, the U.S. winter wheat harvest land is down to numbers as low as where it was 100 years ago. And a lot of people aren't, I guess, I don't know, not everybody really pays attention to farming and farming news, but the U.S. has not been farming as much. Production land is down. Population growing. And growing and growing and growing. The United States is having food insecurities, and they're telling you we have to bring in so many more people from around the world who are suffering from food insecurities. We can't feed our own people, and we're sending food to other places to help them with their food insecurities, but people are still coming here for their food insecurities. Maybe we should find ways for places to produce more food. This whole idea that the optics of it look like you have a governmental movement to strain the people out. Understand the suffering and financial woes and societal woes that are happening right now are all preventable. They're all preventable. The problem is they're being exacerbated by the media, controlled by the government. And the White House just keeps throwing fuel to that fire. And they just want to keep you stoked and keep the flame stoked. Everything that comes out of the mouths of the left has to deal with white supremacy. Everything is white supremacy. Seriously, climate change, white supremacy. People in other countries are hungry, white supremacy. People have never seen black people having problems. No, let me rephrase that. People have never seen white people having problems. White supremacy. Seriously. I mean, people you want, if a black man wants to own firearms, white supremacy. If a black man doesn't want his children being taught CRT, white supremacy. If a black man says that he disagrees with the Black Lives Matter movement, well, that's just white supremacy. If any race says all lives matter, that's white supremacy too. Failing in school? Oh, there you go. Because apparently, according to the left, math is racist. Science is racist. I wish I was making that up. I wish I was making that up. Understand that according to the left, expecting children, minority children, to be able to read, to be able to write, to be able to do math, to understand science, that's white supremacy. They need to be taught CRT. They need to be taught that they are failures because of the color of their skin. And the only way they're going to get ahead is because of other people giving them things. Don't teach them that they can succeed, and the past is not an anchor that keeps them from moving forward. No. They want them to be taught that the past is the only thing that they have. Not their full past. Just the dark bits of the past that make it so that you can hate people for their skin color bits. Because that's really all it is. But I'm getting off on a tangent here, going off topic. The reality is that the world is running out of food, and according to the left, that's white supremacist too. Yep, everything is white supremacist. And this is a problem. The left moves with identity politics, and because of that, nothing ever gets done. Nothing gets done because of identity politics, trying to virtue signal to get votes in the coming election. It's the same as these companies that wanted to go woke and selling products that don't sell. Seriously, letting wokeness infiltrate the advertisements, infiltrate the products that they give to the public. The problem is the people who are preaching the wokeness don't buy the products because they don't want the products. They don't want to watch the movies, listen to the music, or be involved with the entertainment at all. What they want is to make it so that people who don't agree with them, the only thing that they have access to is the entertainment that those on the left have approved for them, because according to them, you are a bigot because you don't agree with them. Again, I'm going off on this tangent, but it just all comes back to the same thing. Absolute insanity. Just absolute insanity. And so, let me give you a little bit of video insanity, and we're going to listen to Senator Joe Manchin, and he's going to talk to the Senator Helen, the Secretary of the Interior, about the problem with the leases, the fuel leases, the American fuel shortage. I mean, you've already heard the other Granholm the other night stating that Biden's policies of shutting down production don't have anything to do with the lack of production in the United States. No, it's Russia. It's Russia. The prices were going up before Russia because, Putin was thinking about invading something. And instead of giving a proper response, she comes back with, well, a survey done of top oil execs, and Senator Hawley killed it. Nobody cares about their opinion. What are you doing to fix this? We don't care about what these top execs say. That's just their opinion. Isn't that just they're telling you what you want to hear? Because hopefully you'll approve some leases. Damn. But let's go ahead and jump right into this.
If I may, real quickly, Secretary Helen, I don't know, you all just put out a statement. The U.S. Department of Interior just put out a statement. And the statement basically says, a proposed program is not a decision to issue specific leases or to authorize any drilling or development. This is from you all's office. So it looks like you all want to shut everything down. Did you know you all put this out?
I am sorry. I am sitting in this hearing and not.
My God, somebody, this shuts it down. It shows what your intent is. Yes, we can. We'll get copies for every.
I gotta pause it right there because you know what this does? Literally, the Department of Energy's own release. Department of Interior, their own release literally contradicts everything the president and the old press secretary and the new whatever she is secretary, because press secretary she is not. Just contradicts everything that they've been saying. They proposed. Yeah. So long story short, the White House has just been caught in another huge lie to the people. But let's continue.
Basically, it says Secretary Haaland provides updates on offshore leasing program during the Senate testimony. During testimony before the U.S. Senate Committee on Energy and Natural Resources today, Secretary of the Interior Deb Haaland confirmed that despite delays in implementation from the previous administration, the Interior Department will release the proposed program, the next step in the 5-year offshore energy planning process, by June 30th, 2022, which is the expiration of the current program. A proposed program is not a decision to issue specific leases or to authorize any drilling or development. So they're going we're going to do the proposal, but it doesn't guarantee they're going to do any leasing at all.
Chairman,
Yes, ma'am.
And there you go. I mean, again, that was from May 19th, and it's just interesting because, her own department released that. And as much as I know she'd like to say, oh, I had no idea it was in this meeting, I think she knew what was coming. I don't think she thought it was going to get released while she was literally on the stand. And if it did, I don't think she was expecting them to bring it out in live time. Oh my gosh. I mean, it's just ridiculous. It's just absolutely ridiculous. And I want to close this out by giving people a little update about what is still happening in Afghanistan. I know things have been changed, and it's just been getting crazy, and I try and keep you updated on these things. But just the Taliban, as people in America are screaming about how oppressed things are and how terrible it is, it's one of the worst places in the world for a woman to live. I just want people to be reminded right now that the Taliban has just issued a new non-negotiable order to all television media stations that women will be covered up. They will be showing no face on Afghani television if you are a female. Now, granted, there have been some male counterparts who have shown their support for the women by also wearing masks on the television. But this is insane. Understand that women in Afghanistan, whom are TV presenters on the news, if you are a woman on television in Afghanistan, it is non-negotiable. You are not allowed to show your face. Man. That's more of the legacy in Afghanistan that Joe Biden has left behind. I wonder if we'll get the opportunity to ask these young ladies of Afghanistan how they feel about the state of their home that Joe Biden has left it in. I hope one day we get to hear those conversations. But just remember, we have elections coming up in November. Get yourself registered, and let's make a change. I thank you for tuning in, and we'll catch you next time.